What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Mellow Mondays podcast. Today we're coming to you on the 4th of July. Pretty exciting. So today is being deemed the 4th of July special. So I don't know. Just wanted to talk about a few things about why the 4th of July is probably my second favorite holiday. I love Christmas is obviously like number one. But aside from Christmas, I love the 4th of July. I know I've had multiple podcasts before about the 4th and the lake, and I just had the one recently about missing the lake and all this stuff, but I couldn't have a podcast come out on the 4th and not talk about my favorite things on the lake. So this year is the third year ever that I will not have been at the lake in some capacity for the 4th. Now, I wasn't always there, like right on the 4th, maybe the weekend after, the weekend before, but the only other times I've not been able to go were one time when I was in Europe and last year when I was out here doing my fishing guiding stuff, obviously. So this year, not able to go back. I was trying to figure out ways to where I maybe could go back, and it just was going to be too expensive and too crunched on time. So hopefully next year I can find a way to make it back and participate in some of the festivities. I love the 4th. The 4th is my favorite time at the lake. Like there's a vibe in the air. Just there's a buzz on the lake that it's hard to beat. Like there's so much going on. There's people everywhere. Like people out on the boats, people on docks, grilling out, just having a couple beers. Like people laying around in the water. Like there's just everyone's down, and it's just one of my favorite times. And I love fireworks. And so the 4th of July always has fireworks. I love that smell. You can just smell it. Like especially at night when people start shooting off everything, you can sit on the deck and just watch and look out over the lake, and you can smell it, and it's humid and hot, and it just kind of sits over the lake. There's this big cloud, and it's my favorite. It's my favorite thing at the lake. So I don't know. It's hard not being able to go this year, obviously, but I don't know. It's tough too because Colorado is like fireworks are bad because we're so dry out here, and it's like anytime you see a firework, you're like, oh my gosh, please don't burn down our town, or please don't start this huge wildfire, because that's like always the fear. So there will be no fireworks this year, which is okay. But I think my family's shooting some stuff off, so I'm definitely gonna have to FaceTime them and see the show. And I'll be excited about that. But like a typical 4th of July weekend, like that, I don't know, I just want to run you through like what we would typically do. I don't know, like this year the 4th's on a Monday, so we typically get down like Friday evening, or sometimes if I could get off work, I'd get down early, and me and my dad beforehand would have already gone and picked out fireworks in KC. So we normally do like some sort of fireworks show on either the 4th or, maybe the 3rd, depending on when it falls and that sort of thing. So that's like me and my dad's big tradition. One of my favorite things to do. I hate not being able to do it this year, but I think they're carrying on the tradition without me, which is good. I'm excited about that. But we go and pick out fireworks. There was this local place in the town we live, and so we'd go and get everything, and we would always have like a budget. My mom would always be like, okay, this is like your budget. And then I would throw in some cash, and then inevitably we would always go over. Like every single time, it's like we'd get there, and like the guy would be super nice, and he's like, well, if you spend this amount, you can get these free. So we would always go over budget, and my mom knew, that's just like how it goes. So we would always go, and like there's nothing more that I love than just lighting money off. Like that's basically what fireworks are. You're literally just paying all this money to shoot something in the air to explode. It is well worth it. I will pay it till the end of time. Like I love shooting off fireworks. And so we'd have our fireworks picked out, we'd load up the cars, we'd get down to the lake, and I typically buy some fireworks that are just noise, like no color or anything like that. It's just a loud bang. Artillery shell, shoot it in the air and just explodes. That's kind of my inaugural. We're down at the lake, and we let everyone know. So get down to the lake, and I'd probably shoot a couple of those off. They're super loud. They're super cool. So I'm always like, that gets the adrenaline going a little bit, gets the heart going, and just kind of shows like, hey, this is the start of the 4th of July weekend. And from there, we just kind of do our normal lake activities. Not a lot of skiing or tubing or anything. It's just so busy down there. I mean, the 4th of July is insane. You can't do anything on the water. I barely ride my jet ski. I'll ride it in the cove, but I won't go out and like ride the main channel like I normally would. Every now and then we try, and it's always insane. Like, kind of worried about getting hit by boats. It's so wavy. I mean, it's like it's incredibly wavy. We don't typically even take the boat out at all unless it's really early in the morning or really late. But most of the time we're just kind of chilling, hanging out. So not a lot of water activities other than just laying on the dock and having floaty time like normal and just hanging out. And I'll have some little fireworks and stuff that we'll like shoot off throughout the weekend, in preparation for our in preparation for like our big fireworks show. And 4th of July, like the actual day, we've always had like a few big traditions. I don't even know how they started, but we always would tie-dye on the 4th. Like, for some reason, I started doing that. I don't even know why, but for as long as I can remember, I have like various tie-dyes. I make like one tie-dye shirt a year, and it's always done on the 4th of July for whatever reason. And so wake up in the morning, maybe go down to the water for a little bit, eat breakfast, whatever. Then we do our tie-dye, and it's, I don't know, sometimes it's 4th of July themed. We've done stuff where we've done like spray paint and stars and stripe. I mean, just all them random stuff that you do on the 4th, and get those rolling, then set them out in the sun to dry, and then we're just kind of hanging out the rest of the day. By that point, we kind of start our second tradition, which is like my second favorite tradition, is homemade ice cream. And we have one of those just little bucket machines. I don't know if you guys have ever made homemade ice cream, but it's just a little machine, and you mix up. My mom would always do the recipe. I would occasionally help, and not really. She pretty much always did it. And you just put I don't even know, batter, whatever you would call the recipe, into this cylinder. Then you surround it with ice and salt. That salt helps to really get that ice nice and cold and really, really chill it. And then this little cylinder spins, and you just turn on the machine, and it spins for as long as it needs to, and eventually it freezes. And then you just throw it in the freezer, and that's what we would eat after we did fireworks. So very fond memories of making homemade ice cream. It is, if you've never had it, it is so good. Like, there's a saltiness to it, and like, I don't know, it's a really special thing. I love doing it. It's one of my favorites. And yeah, like I remember a story one year. We were making ice cream, and the machine broke, and we're like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? So they have hand crank ones. That's like the old school way to do it. But we didn't have a crank, so I think we ended up using like a drill, and we were able to fit this drill into it. And I just there's a photo of me somewhere of me using this, corded drill, and that's how we made our ice cream for the year. So I don't know, fun memory, pretty sick. But once the ice cream's done, we're just kind of hanging out the rest of the day. I mean, just chilling, same deal, hanging out on the dock, just relaxing, listening to good music, swimming. Hopefully it's warm and sunny, but a lot of times it's rainy. You know how it is, like, especially in the Midwest. But throughout the day, there's definitely people shooting off fireworks, and everybody's just, the lake is just buzzing. Like, I love the feel of the lake. Like, I'm a big like feeler, and I love the atmosphere and the vibe of it. I just, like, I don't know, it just brings me joy. Even thinking about it now, I'm like, man, I miss like just that vibe. Just everybody's out having a good time, like grilling, all this stuff. And so I don't know, that kind of brings us to like end of the day after we've relaxed and whatever. We always do like a big grill out for the 4th. So every year is a little bit different. Some years we've done like homemade French fries and onion rings and all this sort of thing, but that's a lot of work, especially with the oil and stuff. But we traditionally always have like, all right, you're going to be grilling burgers and brats or hot dogs or whatever on the charcoal grill. Like, we have a Weber grill, no gas. Like, it's just classic. It's just, there's that smell. Yeah, I don't know. It just reminds me of the lake a lot. I love that smell. Even in the campground now, when people are grilling on charcoal, I'm like, oh, that smells like the lake. But yeah, burgers, your typical stuff. Typically corn on the cob. That's like one of our big things. Maybe some baked beans, whatever. Our family is a big corn on the cob snob family. Like, me and my dad are both very, like, we love corn on the cob, and like it has to reach, especially my dad, but me as well, has to hit a certain standard for it to be like, oh, that's really good corn. And there's all these different criteria, whatever. But yeah, just traditional grilling out 4th of July meal, like one of my favorite meals at the lake. And then yeah, it kind of gets a little dark, and so there's a fireworks show that happens kind of like just down our cove a little ways. You kind of go out to the channel, and there's this other little cove, and they do this big fireworks show every year. It's pretty sick. So a lot of times on the 4th, like the actual 4th, will go, and this year, since it's on a Monday, they'll probably shoot theirs off on Sunday, the 3rd, just because a lot of people have to work on the 5th. So we typically go out on the boat and watch that, and it's, I don't know, it's sick. Like, all the boats are around, it's getting dark, and they have this amazing show, and everybody's honking their horns on their boat and hanging out. Like, it's just, once again, it's just that vibe. Like, I don't know, I love it. It's my favorite time. And then we'll either come back and shoot off our show, or we'll wait. We've already done it before or after, but like, that's like one of my favorite memories as a kid and as an adult, is just shooting fireworks off with your dad. Like, I don't know, how could you beat that? It's super fun. We have a little dock there, but family would always sit on the deck. Sometimes they'd take the boat out, but we'd shoot them off the corner of the dock, and it's always a little stressful and scary because if something tips over, you load the tube. Like, I've reloaded artillery shells upside down, it's exploded. There's all these different things that happen. But yeah, I love shooting off fireworks. It's just that adrenaline. Like, there's something about standing on the dock while you're lighting them off too, because they're up over your head and it feels way closer, and there's ash falling down and the smell and all this stuff. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's just a special feeling. And it's one of my favorite things. Like, I love doing it, and it's just like, there's always those couple fireworks that you're like, oh my gosh, that was amazing. Like, these little moments in time that you remember. Like, I have a very distinct memory of some firework cake we shot off, and it's like, I like ones that have like a report and then they have this like crackle effect at the end. And there was one cake that was literally just all of that, and the finale was like 5 or 6 breaks of that. It was just like the entire sky above you. It's just illuminated and it's hard to explain, like, without you being it, but I still like remember that feeling of watching that go off, which is, I don't know, which is sick. And after that, hopefully we're all safe. Nobody's got any burns or nothing happened. Everybody's got all their limbs, which is always a plus. And then we go inside and crack open the ice cream. So crack open the ice cream will sometimes have, brownies or cookies or whatever. My dad, we'll typically make brownies or something. So just have homemade ice cream and brownies, and then we'll just kind of relax. I'll typically go sit on the porch and just watch the rest of the fireworks for the evening. Maybe smoke a cigar, just drink a beer and just relax. Like, I love just sitting on the deck. The way our house is positioned, we can see like the entire cove from where we are. So you can just sit up there and see all these people lighting off fireworks. Like, it's such a cool view. And like I said earlier, like, the smog kind of sets in. It's dense. Like, it's July in Missouri, so it's humid, it's hot, and like that firework air, just like the fireworks just like sit in the air. And like, I love the smell. It smells so good. Like, it's such an inviting home feeling smell. And then, yeah, we just kind of go to bed. That's kind of like our typical 4th of July. It's pretty jam-packed, but like I said, like, I just love all the little traditions we have, like just random stuff, like tie-dye and those sort of things. Like, very fond memories with the family. It's one of my favorite times going down there. And one of the times I miss the most by being out here in Colorado. Like, once again, like, this view is sick, and like being out here is awesome. But yeah, I miss the 4th a lot. But I'm glad they're still doing fireworks this year, and I'm glad my family's still able to go down and enjoy it, because it's one of the most special times down at the lake. It's it's just all about the vibe, and I miss it. But hopefully that I don't know. Hopefully that brings you a little joy just listening to kind of my favorite time of the year at the lake. I don't know. I'm sure you guys have similar memories for things that you love to do as well. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully that brings you a little joy. I just wanted to share it because I'm like, it's 4th of July. I can't not share my favorite time at the lake with everybody, even though I know I've already talked about it a million times with you guys. Yeah. And as a little housekeeping news, I got a new phone. So hopefully the video quality will be a little bit better than it's been. It's looked pretty good, but I got a little upgrade for free. So upgraded the phone. Hopefully the video quality looks nice for everybody. Yeah, as usual, thank you guys for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. It's annoying. I know it's annoying, but I have noticed a lot of growth since I've kind of started sharing that and asking you guys to do that. So appreciate you guys doing that. It's cool to have people continue to subscribe to this channel. It's just, I don't know, it's crazy. It's crazy that people do that, but I'm happy that people do. As usual, thank you guys for tuning in, and this has been another episode of the Mellow Mondays podcast. Peace.